They improved a lot, like a lot.
The improvement I got is non-countable because I remember before I learned with the Cambridge Learning Center, my English is terrible.
After working with the Cambridge Learning Center, I felt like I understood what the questions were asking me rather than just having a feel for what the answer might be. So I felt a lot more comfortable going through each practice test.
I think every aspect improved.
It wasn't just working on the test itself. You actually got to improve on your writing and also on your reading part, which is really good. You also learn how to read not just like testing articles, but if you're reading a book, how to just get the important parts out of it so you don't have to spend so much time just analyzing something that you could do it in like 10 minutes instead of spending like an hour.
The thing I learned from the Cambridge Learning Center is really helped me to reform my thinking and especially improve my reading speed and really helped me to get the key, from the article and from a journal. So it helps.
The center really helps me keep up, like write better, a lot better.
There were certain questions where I would just recognize that this is this type of question and I could go through it very quickly rather than thinking it through and thinking each question through.
They improved my score and my ability significantly.
I thought that it was catered to each student personally, so I didn't feel like I was being put into this mold that was already made for me.
Cambridge Learning Center is more personal because every student is different and everyone has different needs.
They're definitely focused more on you in general. They know they have to evaluate all your weaknesses, all your strengths, and then play from there. Whereas other test prep companies, they don't really focus on you. They just give you a standard course that you have to take and expect you to do well from that.
I had some experience with other learning center before, and the thing they use is more like a very typical system thing, like they help you to remember all the vocabulary and they teach you the grammar thing and then just doing another practice questions. But the way I learned from Cambridge Learning Center is not just to remember things. The teacher in there teach me more like in a very scientific way that like the thing you learn in like when you go sports. So it's very logical. Like they have different levels of the knowledge, and so it's really helped me to understand, but not just to remember things.
Everyone gets different experiences to find out a solution that fits the person most, instead of just getting a universal solution.
During each session, they would ask me how I am, and that in itself is it's a small thing, but it really changed my experience. I felt that they cared about my mental health, and during that very stressful period of time, that is something that can be, I guess, neglected.
He is awesome. Like I had so many teachers in past 10 years I spent in North America, and he is the only one who can teach me not just from school but everything else. He's like he knows everything
because it is not entirely about English as it's not about SAT as a test, but more about English as a language. Is history, why certain words work certain way.
The instructors themselves were very knowledgeable and had very impressive educational backgrounds, so they really knew what they were talking about.
Oh, great. That's really like the best.
I would say it's excellent.
You have like a great, awesome teacher, the most amazing teacher in the world. And the second, there's like a very efficient way to learn things. It is much more efficient. Like you spend 1 hour here, it probably is same as stay awake with other learning place.
The course was of very high quality.
They were always like check with you how was your test, how did you do.
This is more like a big family. Like sometimes it's really pushed me to study more because I feel like I have responsibility.
There are times that I couldn't finish assignment on time, and Leonardo would alternate his assignment so it will fit into my schedule.
Each instructor really is committed to each student individually.
If you don't know anything, all you have to do is like shoot them an email and they'll be like, oh, this is how you do it. And sometimes if you can make it to class, you can do like Skype calls, and then you can like do the class through Skype, which I really liked. And then sometimes you can do Google Documents where you're like working on the essays and you work on it together. So I really like the quality of the instruction.
I think he really cares each student, like where their advantages and how can you really improve what you have right now and bring it to another level.
I also worked on the college application essay. So what I liked about it is instead of just cramming down, like this is like the structural format you have to write for the college essays. What I liked about it, you get to brainstorm with it. And, like, what are some like interesting ideas you want to do, and then like this is how you write it. And so like when it just comes to college writing process, like admissions process, I feel like I actually like talked about myself and then what I really liked about, then regular just like formatted one, like here's the instruction, here's a body paragraph, here's the conclusion.
It is not just teach me to simply improve my score. It's also more help me to improve my knowledge system. Because beside the work, beside the knowledge I need for my score, I learn much more to have like other set of my like in the questions happening in my life.
In terms of college preparation, the center really helped me a lot in terms of finding which college to look into and which college to apply to and what I really wanted and what was best for me.
They also took a more holistic approach and looked at my essays and my list of schools I was applying to. So I thought I got a very, it was just a very rewarding experience, and it wasn't just a test prep kind of program. It's a lot more than that.
It's not about SAT as a test, but more about English as a language. Is history, why certain words work certain way.
For me, I really, really enjoyed working with the Cambridge Learning Center.
I saw improvement every week, so that was definitely something that I enjoyed and I am really grateful for.
This result it shows immediately.
Even after you are done with the course, I still like keep contact with the people who are working at the Cambridge Learning Center.
I felt that they cared about me personally, not only my test scores. I'm not my test scores, so I thought that was something really special about the Cambridge Learning Center.
Without him, I don't think I can keep staying in Harvard.
Yes, most definitely.
I really recommend to other people because like even for some people who even have like really good SAT scores, sometimes like they kind of struggle with like regular classes and sometimes. But if you take the Cambridge Learning course, not only you improve on your SAT scores, you also can succeed in regular classes when you're in college, when you're doing a lot more college like writing, college reading. It really helps.
I highly recommend working with Cambridge Learning Center, like with no reservation.
I definitely will recommend the center to anybody else I know. Actually, I already did.